The word thrownness was introduced to the workshop by Carl Weick from his reading of Heidegger. The idea of thrownness is that our condition in the world, the situations that we face, are something that we are dropped into, as if we were dropped from outer space, plop, into the middle of a very complex, multifaceted, already working situation.
Design, lots of times, has the feel of starting out with a blank slate and you're going to do this project right, and you've got control over all of the kind of levers that you need, and so we think about our prescriptions for design from that standpoint. I think that's nonsense. I think if you look at any one of the Gehry projects, he's not invited in until there's been an awful lot of discussion and controversy and debate back and forth. Is this a good idea or not? To understand him as a designer, it seems like you've got to picture him as dropped in the middle of a whole bunch of agendas and activities and interests already underway. He'd rather have it differently than it is, but to understand what he's doing, you say, this is what he inherited, it's not great, it's not ideal, and he works his way out of it. And so being thrown into a situation seems to capture the circumstance, the experience, what a designer has to cope with, I think, better than other kinds of, for me, than other kinds of terminology.
In both design and management, rather than green fields and blue skies, it's a question of working through things, working around things, knowing when you solve problems, knowing when you evade problems, making the most of whatever you've got, whatever it might be. And one of the words which somebody put up on a board, but which never really attracted a lot of attention, was bricolage. You know, I mean, what is a bricoleur? A bricoleur is someone who has a goal in mind and who will try and make the most of whatever is at hand to achieve that goal. That seems to me a good image for management, and I suspect actually it's how a lot of design works.
One wonders, why design at all? Why not just do the thing? And the answer is because it's bigger than you can do in one fell swoop. It either involves more people or it involves you over a longer period of time than you can keep it clearly in your head. And so you design. You do drawings or schematics, you write about it, you do some intermediate step between your idea and your realization of your idea. Improvisation is quite the opposite. It's where you're able to pull it off right now in the moment and do it now. And it requires a different attitude and set of skills, perhaps, than designing does. And it's another one of these dimensions where I think extraordinary leaders and managers are going to be capable of a balance, of knowing when the organization should be improvising, when they, as a senior manager, should be improvising, and when a design attitude is called for.